I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA Review. Today is January 22nd, Thursday, 2026. Hope you had a good day. So we talked about possibly, making a lower high, coming up into this area, and then coming back down. We'll see. We don't know. But today, the signs on the wall was a nice sell at the open. When with this projection here, pretty clear, you'll see that the 2 to 2.5, we're sitting in there. We have a gap that we ended up right at 9 o'clock. Just so beautiful. We came up to, obviously, Asia London pushed it up initially already. So that was a big sign of us maybe possibly retracing back. But there's the first imbalance of the year sitting right there. It's in the green. And you can see that we ended up using that to sell off again today even. We'll see if it holds. I'll drag it over in a second. But the goal was, as far as popping up here, you're balancing that, and there's some liquidity here, and then the extension shows you can see the 2 to 2.5. So for me, I was looking for a sell just to come back in with the opening range gap going to be in here. I'll show you on a smaller time frame. And I also have, as it being Thursday, I'm measuring the whole week, right? 20 to 40% is this area here. But I expect generally that we'll come back into 20% at least, and then, maybe continue up for Thursday, and then, or is Thursday a reversal? Is the high of the week, or is it had, reversal vibes all day today, but or is it going to continue generally? And Friday is always the high of the week, right? Logically. And then, we'll retrace back for a sell on Friday if it's a bullish week. Very simple stuff here. But so I did that today, and I understand that this is the this is the 20% of the weekly range here, low to high as of now, right? And that was my goals to come back in, and I did that. So you'll see, let's go to the fire here. Obviously yesterday with the continuation of the higher high and higher low, if you're asking, and if you're struggling still, and you've been following for years and you're still not profitable, you have to ask yourself why. The main reasons, in my opinion, is A, you don't have your analysis right. B, you are, because of that, then you turn around and make major mistakes over trade and, married to a direction and, or FOMO and all these other things. And then 3, just really being, that falls into the degeneracy where now you're not really, you're over trading and you're gambling in a sense, and you're not taking profit, and you just don't have maybe the forward testing, the forward, trading and your belt and all that, right? But you have to knock those things out. That's what changed me to be profitable, was to stop doing the dumb shit. And I mean, I don't know how else I can make this clear, but the analysis for me is really fire, obviously. So if you look at this, you can see here, I'm using that first imbalance of the year. You can see it over there, right? So over here, I understand at 9 o'clock, dude, we're already up here. Okay, that's number one for today. I was speaking of today. We get into the 2 to 2.5. It's over here. You can't see it on the 4 hour. I didn't put it, but you can see it here, right? It's over here. So I understand that. And then look at this gap. Yes, there's a lot of gaps here, and I'm about to take these gaps out. I'll be honest with you. I don't need them. They're in the background, light gray, to see how they maneuver. But I'm waking up, dude, and the price is already smacking this gap for me. Like, that's already a fucking huge win. Number one. Number two, we have a lot of liquidity here. That was easy. And then, we have these higher lows here. And then we have this breakout area. I talk about this like every day at this point, right? So the algorithm is, and then the market, so, generally doing, only 3 things. And I say this all the time, but it's creating structure in a direction, right? And I'm attacking breakout areas, inefficiencies, and liquidity. So let me say it in more important order. liquidity imbalances or inefficiencies. In this case, it could be an imbalance or it could be literally a gap, like with no inefficiency, and then breakout areas. And because those are the easy ways to trade, right? Or as far as the breakout area goes, not to ramble, but this is a higher low and you make a new higher high. But if you look at when we broke this yesterday from this push up high, this break, I don't count that one. But I'll count this as the next drive. First drive, second drive, third drive. So I understand I have 3 drives here. And if you're sitting here trying to buy this to keep going, that's really minuscule. Minute thinking. Not minuscule. But, when the price is up here, I know that the opening range gap is here. I know the settlement from yesterday is fucking right there at 4:15 p.m. Okay. So, and then 9:30 is here, right? So I understand that, we have easy liquidity here, and then we have this breakout area. And then now, if the opening range gap is here, I'm circling these 2 reasons. Number 1 here, look at the confluence of why I keep all these levels on my chart. The purple, the massive purple, you could see I'm quadding it right here. See this little square? You can see that. Very clear. I didn't make it thick, but it's there. Okay? So I have that there. All right. And then the opening range gap is quadded. Now look at the levels closely. Why do I circle this here? This level is the 25% of the purple gap, of the current gap. So all the other gaps in the background, I don't really care as much as this gap currently, because this is the current gap. Okay. But I have that 25% there, and look at the 50%. Look at the 50% of the opening range gap is sitting right with it. Oh, obviously, why am I circling it here? Because there's liquidity to the left. Okay. And I'm highlighting, see the height of this circle? I'm highlighting yesterday's high. See yesterday's high? Drag it all the way. And that's what the top of this circle is. And then the bottom is obviously, I'm highlighting the 50% and that 25%. So this area here, I expect the price to come down. If we're bullish, bearish, it doesn't matter, with no bias. This is just period what I understand is going to happen. Why? Well, because when the price broke out from the Asia range, it also broke out from yesterday's high, and it fucking just kept going. That's easy. That's easy. And you got people who trade only that way. They wait for the break the high, and then they fucking momentum trade up, and then or bounce for a retest. That shit ain't gonna work, man. That's a trap. But that's why I'm circling this. What's the next? What am I circling next? What am I circling next here? Can't get more confluence than this. This is confluence heaven right here. The midnight level is right there in this orange. It looks red, but it's orange. It's in the background, right back there. Oh, and then what's this level above it? Oh, that's the 50% of the fucking purple gap. Ooh, what's to the right here? Ooh, you don't see. It's on top of each other. You can't even see it. It's that perfect, which is the bottom quadrant of this opening range gap. Hope you're learning something, and you got to be getting money, man. I'm sorry. This shit is just too fire. I don't know what else to say, but that I'm already seeing this. I'm already knowing this. All right. I see this. You see this here? As far as where the targets are going to come down, but you can see that they're laying on top of each other. I'm circling it very clear. And then to the left, you can see, again, I have it on the 20% of the range. That would be roughly eyeballing it. It'd be somewhere over here. I don't have it. I didn't want to fucking, confuse the chart. So, but this is it. This was my target, and this was my agenda today. I didn't give a fuck what it ended up doing. We're on an overbought here on the 15-minute, which was really nice, by the way. And I expect it to come down. And also, it was on the 5-minute. I expected it to come down more too. But anyways, let's get into the fire. So you can see here, how did I do this? How did I do that? Well, number 1, I have the gap there. Number 2, I got this imbalance here, right? And luckily for fucking Nas, which I don't know why people want to trade, why would anybody want to trade S&P, or Dow versus Nas, but look at this shit. Did you want to be a part of this? Open? Look at the open. Comes up, shakes down, comes back up, shakes back down. We ended up having a divergence here is really what I'm trying to say. But why would you want to fucking be involved? Okay, so let's go back to this. Wouldn't you want to be involved in this? Isn't this much more cleaner? If you think it's not, then you're fucking tripping. Sorry. But we had a higher high here with S&P. And without even having to look at other charts, I'm already looking for a retracement. Okay, so this is an expansion up. I'm looking for a retracement back. There's no rocket science to that. But I take the trade here initially, right there. See how we come in, we tap that 50% perfectly twice. I take that trade. Comes down. It does not continue. What does that mean to me? It's probably gonna fail. Then we get these two candles real quick. And I was like, oh, you little bitches. They got me. I said, okay, cool. No problem. But I was stopped in break even. I don't need to lose. It should not be coming up like that. But then it stops again. All right. And then this candle pushes down this one. So that would be the 930. That would be 29, 28. So 928. Well, 27 makes a closed candle, which doesn't really help. But the 28 pushes down and it closes like that. When this is coming down, I'm immediately pushing sell. Why? I have a divergence. I have this holding. I have the gap in the background. I'm already at a high. I'm looking to retrace back into here because I understand where the opening range gap is. And really, I was only just trying to come down to this Asia range breakout. I mean, that's really like, and the 50%. This is all I was really thinking about. I fucking pushed enter right before and this is not normal and this is not safe. It's very risky and it's very aggressive, but at the same time I knew what was going to happen. I already knew what was going on, and if I got stopped out, I got stopped out. And if it kept going up, this day would have been fucking over pretty much. But it's not a coincidence that they sank it down for a dump and a pump. But anyways, I got my stop loss initially above the 50% of that gap. Okay. 50%, right? Just in case it wants to wake up, I have it above 50%. And where did I really have it? I had it right in this candle. This is how I make videos long. Right here. I had it here. I didn't take the picture, but you see, I'm gonna blow this up. So there's no one can say that I didn't explain this very clear. Okay. So when this came down, I pushed sell. Okay, this popped up, it came up. My stop loss is right here. Right here. Right here. Where? You see this down candle here? This 927? Look at the 50% of that. I had it a hair above that. Why? Because it shouldn't go above that if it's fucking selling. Period. And naturally, I don't want to see it hit the below 50%. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Initially, when I watched it print, it was just like a quick wick, and it just started sinking. I was like, "Damn!" I mean, it was awesome. Obviously, I mean, I'm not surprised at the same time, but it was like, wow! I put my stop loss literally right there, and it was just beautiful. Why am I saying all this? It's because to learn, so you can remember this and to understand things as far as placing stop losses and this and that. I don't need to put my fucking stop loss all the way up here to know it's wrong. I don't need to do that. All right. Period. So, this is the way I do things. Anyway. Okay. You can see the targets there. Sure enough, the price comes down. This is the first imbalance. It's green. It's because it's in the purple. It's ugly. So, it pushed down here. We got to my area initially, and I was like, I wanted it to tag these areas here, right? And then, sure enough, it came all the way back, and I was like, oh no, fuck me. I just fucked up because it's going to skyrocket if it keeps going higher. Because now I have this first imbalance of today, all right? And then we look how we use it and we bounce on it as an inversion. And I was like, and the price was up here, bold face blue. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. I fucked it up. But I allowed it to, I understand that this first imbalance here is very powerful of the year and of January. And that if it's going to work, it needs to have no bodies on the upper quadrant. It needs to be in the lower quadrant. You can see it. Look at the gap of today. It's in the purple. It's in the background. Don't forget that's sitting there. You see that? Look at the bodies. Look at the bodies sitting there. It comes right back in. It's also in the lower quadrant of the green first imbalance of the year. And then look at its wicking. This is me saying I'm going to keep holding the trade. I am getting confirmation. Otherwise, I got the stop loss. I've already moved it into break even. Now I'm dragging it down here and here because it should not be going any fucking higher. Okay. And then boom, starts to come down. You get this bullshit ass candle. I was like, you fucking bitch. Boom, comes in tags down here, right? And sweeps this area that I'm discussing here. All right. And then I'm like, I know you still didn't hit this breakout area, but there's a 15-minute imbalance right there. So I was like, you fucking bitch. Are they going to turn around? And I was like, that was super unfair. I have a feeling that they're going to still come down because when, as far as like the drives goes, I was explaining here, and here, the three, I expect to see some type of three drives here. Now, I usually don't count the first one. So this is the first one that breaks that liquidity to the left, I believe, right? Yeah. And, yeah. Let me just move it over. See this? That low right there. See that? So I'm already like targeting that guy right here. This is the purpose of me talking. But notice when this came down right here, it doesn't tag that. So I'm like, nah, we're coming down. So then we come down. This is now the first break or drive down, and I don't count it. So this was 1. And then I was pushing down for 2. What am I doing here? Well, when they squeezed it here, it got me a little off guard because I was like, nah, I'm not trying to mess with these people. I'm going to take this profit. And now you can see the 15-minute. I'm allowing it to stretch back down onto the oversold. Remember on the 1 hour, by the way, I think I said this yesterday, we had room to be buying up, but now we are knocking on the overbought. Now I want to see us come back down on the 1 hour and, get somewhere to the 50%, but get away from the overbought to come to the middle. And that was kind of like how I was framing this sell as well. Plus all this shit I've already said in this video. But when the price comes down quickly, I'm squeezing it out because I want to protect the profit. So that's what I do here. Guess what I do next? Well, I already know that we're now coming to this area. Okay. So what do? I take the profit and I secure it and I immediately just hit sell again. Why? Because I know it's going to stretch. It's stretching, right? It's stretching for it. Well, it didn't have to stretch, but it was stretching. And then I expect every single candle here to be kosher where it's, there's no back and forth. It's just straight 1 minute candles. And so when I took the sell, my stop loss was right above the high that it made. And then it crosses over to be a bearish candle. And then this next candle here, which is, you can see, which is 948, very clear, that it then opens and just stretches where? Right to my specific target, the midnight level, the 50% of the current week gap, and the 25%, the bottom of the opening range gap. It's all sitting there. I can't make this any more fucking beautiful for you or anyone. Okay? Or to be clear, perfectionist, this is perfection. Right? But the point of me saying it that way is that this is what I'm looking for. This is what I've trained myself for. And this is what the algorithm is doing. So I'm hunting that. And I'm taking the profit. I'm not trying to be a fucking hero. And I'm not trying to sell it all the way to down here. Okay, today was tricky because of the fact that first of all, it's a suspect day. It's Thursday. We moved a lot yesterday. I should have led with this in the conversation. We moved a lot yesterday. So today was, I didn't expect it to be like a crazy day. I expected it to be an actually smaller range day. But the average daily range for today, it was 400 and something points. I don't even think we went 280 points. Let me see this real quick here. The 740 and 480. So it's 240, 260 points was the day average, was the range today. As of this second, it's 280 points. So it didn't even reach 300. So that, when I talk about that as my strategy, yeah, that's cool. But I understand that we just moved a crazy amount, dude. And it was a lot and it was easy and it was big money. But that's why I'm just coming down here and taking it. Then what happened here? Well, I get these two wicks coming down like this, and then they close. Then that candle closes. This next candle wicks and it's pushing up. What am I doing here? I'm just taking a lower low to a lower high, or for it to, I would have loved for it to just keep going to the sky, and it did not do that. But I understood, look to the left here. I understood exactly where we went. We've already did the damage to the left side here, okay? And we're on that quadrant level. Look at the bodies. Look at the bodies. Look at the bodies. The bodies are sitting on that level that I've already predetermined before we even got down there. You can't make that shit up, okay? Very clear that this is what I'm doing. Very clear, right? So I take the buy here. Why? Well, the entry method here was because of the wicks and it being a swing low right there. You see that? And then that candle too closing as a bullish candle and sitting up there. If it was a bearish candle, it wouldn't have been as good, but it was a bullish candle, which is good. And I'm already at where I'm discussing. And then this candle just pushed up. Now, once I'm in here, I want to see this hold as a bearish imbalance, as an turn in an inversion. And then I want to just go to the moon. But this, I understood that this was going to be kind of like my last shot type of trade. I wanted to dump in a pump. So this is what happened. The price pushes up. We bounce on the inversion 50%. Can't miss it. It's perfect right there. Boom, pushes up. Where does it go? Goes right to that fucking first area I talked about, the 50% of the opening range gap and the top 25 quadrant of the current week gap. Then we bounce like this. And then we had this next blue candle. I wanted to see us push now. At the time when I was doing this, I saw this bearish imbalance. I didn't draw it, but it's there. And I saw that and I was like, oh fuck, dude, this is not gonna keep going straight. It's too early. It's 9:55, it's too early. But I was just trying to shoot my shot for it, right? And then once I decided to squeeze it, and you might like think, you might think, that's not a lot of points. Well, listen, it's 40 points, right? Okay, it's 40 points, and I'm happy with it. But anyways, and it took me out. But it took me out. When it took me out, I was like, oh fuck, this was a lower high, bro, and it's gonna come down for another drive. Why? Well, because the one drive, the two drives, I bought it, right? And then they ended up coming for a third drive. And that third drive had two drives and an equal low. Look how fucking dirty that is, right? So, hence this is why I didn't buy this, which I wanted to. But the point is that now you see it marked here, and now we were tagging that area. This candle here, this 9:55, the one that just shot straight down, it stopped me out in profit. I was done. And then as soon as the inkling of the moment, the instance that this happened, and I realized this was a bearish imbalance, this is just a resistance for a moment. It's a lower high. It's going to come down for another lower low, possibly even come outside this. I knew I fucked up there. But I took the buy, took the money, and then when I get this pushed down like that, I have to stop. Number one, I'm content. Number two, what am I going to do? I'm not going to buy this. If I would never want to see this candle come all the way back if I'm buying it anyway. And then number three, I realized I fucked up and this was just a resistance. Look at it. All right. 25% quadrant, 50% quadrant, 25, and then doesn't seal it. Now, This shoots down, pretty much done for the day. Knew that was, I should have took that as a sell and then try to take that low out and squeeze. Then guess what happens? They do this on purpose. They did not hit that level. They did not hit the opening day gap. This is just like yesterday. They did not hit that opening day gap. Well, they did. I'm sorry, they did. But then here, they did not hit it, and they did not go underneath it either. Why? Because they are not trying to be perfect. They are trying to let people who are holding the bag from selling, because that was, to be honest, it was actually easy. It was actually easy. So, and they know we know it's for veteran traders, they know it's easy. You know, but look at this price action. So when the price comes down right here, I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, fuck off. I'm done. I'm not fucking with you. I'm not gonna trade. I can't play with this. This is not encouraging. First of all, then we get this, and then it shoots down. I'm like, oh, fuck off. I'm not playing with you guys. Then what happens? Then we get this push up here. This is now. It should have never pushed up like this if it was gonna kind of like leak more. And then so it's kind of a shift in market structure. And I talk about this all the time. These equal highs, when they make equal lows here, when they make them, I'll let you know, they're going to run away. I mean, they might come for them later, and I don't mean anytime soon, but initially, they're not. I don't care what anybody says on the internet. When they create this, it's not coming right back to it. It's possible, but it's not at a discount, and I could talk for days. I could ramble all day. But the point is, you get this shift, and it's maybe a market structure shift, retraces back deep, comes into the wick. That's a rejection wick. And sure enough, you're like, okay, well, that's a balanced price range. You're like, that's an inversion, so it's really heavy. You're trying to get, are you trying to sell down here? No, that's not what we do here, bro. You know, you don't want to sell in a discount because it's bullish. It's fucking clear that's bullish right there. As counter trend or not, I don't care. The point is that you got your order flow of it being bullish here. So, but I told myself, okay, dude, and the old me, is, either trying to constantly buy every single one of these, or trying to constantly sell one of these. And then when the prices coming up, I'm constantly kind of trying to sell, because why? I feel like it should come down into here, because of liquidity and all that bullshit. Well, they locked this. So I understand that, to keep it simple, I know I'm bullish. Just buy it again, which is the dump then pump, right? Which is a retracement from the higher high to a higher low. And this is, you asked my strategy. That's really it. It's to keep it really simple. The structure is generally what I'm looking for. And if you keep it that simple with these indices, you'll be fine, especially with NOS. But it comes back, and then you're like, okay, it overlaps that candle and that candle. Then it pops up again. This is where I was like, fuck me, you need to buy this. Pops up, but I was actually done, because this makes me lose interest completely in the market. I'm not going to get chopped up. And this is where you gain your experience of saying, hey, I'm not going to make these mistakes where I'm over trading and I took my trades and I was content and I was done and I didn't come back in the PM session, and I'm not trying to fucking scalp this to the here. I'm not doing all that, right? 28 minutes. I need to go. So what this happened, this pops up. This candle here, this 1026 pops up. So this looks very strong, right? Boom. You see, we're bouncing on top of that specific algorithmic level confluence stacked on each other. Wicks. That's what you want to see. Now, I didn't draw this, but I'm going to do it now. I'm just going to keep it simple here. This is a bullish imbalance. All right. Look at it. Look at the 50%. The 50% of that is literally laying on the 50% of the current week gap. X marks the spot. It's buying. So I'm gonna delete it. And I could have drew a bearish one here. It would have been the same. It would have been basically the same thing. The point is that up, down, up. Okay, well, who's winning now? Well, the upside is winning. Why? Because it's up here. wicking, you have confluence. That was a perfect entry. I was like, nah, I'm not fucking with it. Looks dirty. What does it do? It panned out and bought up. Where did it buy up to? The high that it made. That high especially, because that was easy resistance. Then I knew I should have sold it. And that was actually easy. And then where did it come up to? Oh, these guys right here too. Oh, getting to the first imbalance. It's supposed to be green. I don't know why it does that. It's green, just so you know. It's not a blue. And then okay, retraces back here. Doing way too much. Okay. All right. What the fuck, bro? That is not where I put it, but okay. All right. Comes where? Right back in 50. Look at the bodies, and this is what you want to see when you're entering. Okay, are you doing this? I don't know, but that's a breakout area. Didn't we make a high here? We're playing around and then bust right through. Where does it go? Oh, it comes right back. This whole logic right here is the same idea of what I did today, generally speaking. Okay, so anyways, I didn't draw that. Should have drawn that 15-minute imbalance as well. That's all you need, bro. 15-minute imbalance and a 1-minute imbalance or inversion, and just follow the structure. But anyways, what's more important about this imbalance right here that I was talking about, this 1026? If you were following, you remember some videos ago, I told you to take some notes. That's sitting on a quadrant of a gap. That's a high probability imbalance. Go back test, right? And the same idea here. Well, we pop up, down candle, and we're bouncing on it. We're bouncing on it. Why? These are down candles. It's going to be high probability blocks. Point is, what are we doing? We're coming back up into squeezing the easy sellers here. So nice dump and pump. I was a little irked that I did not buy this, but the price action it made me not interested. But this buy and this buy, I saw that, and this one was really good. But hey, you just never know. So and then if you take a look here, let me try to zoom out a little bit. Look at this. So far, what we've done, we've came right back up to. Why do you think they came this high? Because, man, up to the 930, bro, it just sank. Look, if the price is coming down right here, and you already know it's coming down here, I got in where I got in, which was not smart in a way, but at the same time, it was the price action. But if the price sank down here, and it's starting to break this, you could push sell anywhere here momentum-wise, right? Why do you think to the right? Look to the right now while I'm hovering here. Look to the right. Why do you think the price is there? Because they know motherfucker was easy selling right here. I can't make that up. So now we're bouncing up and down from this first imbalance of the year. Take a look at it. And then take a look here. You can see once we broke up, we retraced back, broke up, retrace back. It's the first imbalance of the day. It's not blue. I don't know why they do that. See if it helps here. Now it's staying green. You see it? All right, so you see how it came above? And we're using it. Swing, and then look at that right there. Perfect. To the tick right there. See that? And then it shoots back up. Watch this. If I move this over, so when you're moving up, you want to see, look to the left. That bearish imbalance. Look at that. Oh, it's perfect. Oh, it's sitting right on top. You don't say. And I could have highlighted this one too. If I was to highlight this one, you'll see it too. But I'm not going to highlight it. This one, you'll see. Take a look. Take a look. Take a look. Take a look. Boom. Look at this. Look at that right there. So when you're coming up, you don't want it to come down farther than some of the tools that you have here, right? You want it to use it as a stepping stone up. And I am doing way too much. Fire shit though, bro. And then what did they do? They came all the way back to squeeze this, which is tough. So that's why when I talked about maybe like this type of double top. So, we have some time in the day, or I'm sorry, in the week and in this month to make this pan out. That's why I was looking at the sells. I actually have another example if you've been watching that up coming higher, but so we came up here, whatever, right? But the logic is that with that double top and here, I mean, I don't know. To me, it does look like a fucking double top. I mean, I don't know. I can't get any more clear than that. But that's also one of the reasons why I was selling into here. And that was my objective and goal today. It wasn't to buy again and go back up. And it wasn't to sell and keep holding. It was what I just showed you. Other confluence is where, well, the VIX, we were initially pushing up here with VIX. And then that was pushing us down. And then this is why I got a little irked that you could see it came to an overbought, and then now I understand for it to maybe come back down to an oversold. This is where the RSI is sometimes helpful, and whatever. But it's just basic price action. I mean, there's nothing to be all fucking Google eyes about it. But the point is that we had room for this to come back down, and that pushed us up. This is where I did not catch the buy. And it was coming down, right? Because you had room. That being said, dollar was dollar pushing down today, and looks not look good. But that would have helped me in the buy, but which it still could buy, but didn't really help me too much here. But here, this is where the magic really was. Where I told you there was a lower high here. Right? We had higher highs here. Okay. So that's how I was selling here as well. I saw that. And then we continued another divergence. We had a lower high here with NAS again. And then we had higher highs here with S&P and Dow. I'm like, oh, you bitches, you're coming for this. And we sank down. When we came down here, you could see the divergence here. So lower highs from there. At that 7 o'clock, which is time is involved, which is the New York. But you had higher lows here, and that just turned us back around. When we got back up here, we had lower highs again with NAS, and we had higher highs here and here. And I thought they were late to the party, so obviously I'm not trading anymore anyway, but turned out to be a sell. So nice sell coming right back into there, and it's pretty much a nice little inverted speaker. So we'll call it that. I guess we could do that, right? So it's an inverted speaker, right? So it's rare. This price action here is actually kind of rare. So which makes me think, I don't know, I might want to really come back down. But yeah, it's an inverted speaker here, right? So, and I know I'm talking way too much, but that's that. And then yeah, I can't do videos anymore, man. Tired. And then Dow coming all the way back up, bro. Fuck me. Look at that shit. Right? Oversold to an overbought. You see, but see, notice how I'm not telling you to trade that way where you're just only like, okay, it's only on the overbought, so now I'm gonna sell it and I'm only gonna wait for that. I mean, I guess you could do that, but I mean, I use it in confluence with the narrative and the context, right? But yeah, man, I made this video long, bro. Shot straight up, came all the way back, almost 50%. It's just a high. That's a high and that's a higher low, and then we made a new higher high, right, with Dow, and then we came back for a higher low. That's what's as of now. I can keep going. I don't fucking care where it goes. But wasn't that logic? Wasn't that simple as far as look how? Okay, so you get the drives here, which is fine. You could have saw that and been a part of it. Coming back to the 930, 25 breakout areas, got gaps right here. Look at, they're inefficient. So that's bogus. And then how are you going to be involved in this? You tell me. Someone tell me, please. How are you going to buy this? Why would you want? Oh shit. Why would you want to? Why would you want to buy this? See that? How are you going to buy this? Right there, when you have a closure above these two down candles and it retraces back, that's as good as it's going to get. You got to buy right there. Order flow, higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low, little speaker, what? Yeah. That would be the only way you could be involved here. And then here's an inversion here. Right here. You see this? Inversion right there with this candle, and we dip in it. And it's going off to what? Tag that high. That's how I would have approached it. But it's, again, why you want to fucking trade S&P and Dow? Whoever talks shit about Nas, you're tripping. I mean, granted, it's not silver and gold right now, but I mean, who cares? Fuck silver and gold. I don't need to go trade silver and gold at all-time highs. I just, I don't know, man. But and you can see here maybe an algorithmic divergence because we are late to the party. Not us, but Dow is already above, and then S&P still hasn't even sealed their shit. So this might be a divergence here. And then this is another reason why I knew I messed up and I should have took the buy, because I should have took the buy because I knew that S&P is still late to the party. So we're still probably going to keep going up here. And then, that's my 2 cents for that. So again, why you want to trade this? It's not as bad as Dow, but Jesus, look at this. Look at it. Up, down, then it comes down. Look at the 25 quadrant. Comes up, shift, same story. Look at this imbalance, high probability area of this imbalance, which is the 50%. It's laying on that gap, tags it. Down candle, tags it, and they pulled back in. Really tight range today. Glad I left it alone. Glad I said fuck off. Now imagine, I'm going to say this real quick. I didn't have nothing on the chart, and you just used, so pretend there's nothing on the chart and just candlesticks. Okay, well here is a down candle with an imbalance. That's where it tagged it. Didn't have any algorithmic levels, okay? All right, I had the same thing going on here. I said it while it was happening yesterday that this is just a support probably. Sure enough, look at the bodies respecting. It bought again. New high. You have structure involved. And then they were trying to squeeze these guys here. But, like if I had nothing on the chart, right, and I was just using the projections here, we came to the 2 to 2.5. Look at the -2. We're sitting there. Breakout area again. Let me do it again and say, okay, well, here's another down candle with an imbalance. Oh, that's the midnight level too. Oh my God. But let's just say we didn't have any of that there. It's like, okay, I mean, I can do that, bro. Like, don't think I'm crazy just because I got all this fucking levels on the chart. But coming back into the 20% here. Pushed back up, came back to the 20%, pushed up. Now we're sitting here. So it looks like we're still bullish, right? Is it going to roll over? I don't know. Friday, not really having any expectations. We're back into a neutral zone. Look at this. So look at this here. We came down, and then we came right back up, and now we're up here. Are we going to head for this quadrant back up here and squeeze above? And then if we look at this range here, look at, we came down the meat of it on the 25%. We bought back up yesterday to the 50%. We closed on the 50%. And then this next candle, which is today, smaller range day, comes up and gets closer to this 75%, or this top 25%. See that? So notice how the meat's happening there. This is why I still have this drawn here. And this is just going to be fire for future videos, whoever watches this. But, not this imbalance daily is not really helping, but right now it's pretty much back to that pennant where this didn't break. It's expanding out. Is it going to break through? Is this a lower high to roll over, or is it going to come back up? And then we're sitting here. This is the back and forth shit I said in the beginning of the month of the videos that I was making. I was saying this. Notice how we're not above this first imbalance of the year though. So that's you're going to want to get above that and use it as support. But also another thing is I knew that we would another reason why I messed up and should have bought was because that this candle here, you need to see a body. There's no body on the daily here, right? And why the weekly is now looking like they're trying to close a weekly candle on there. So it would make me say that, okay, well, we're probably going to stay on the top side of the price action until at least this week. Friday, let it maybe make a new high. If it makes a new high, okay, let's just say if it doesn't or it does. If it does, let's just say the Asia London pushes the price back up, or we push up and we get to here or something. I don't know. We sweep this and we stop somewhere here, right? Then I'm going to expect it tomorrow to sell back into 20 to 40% of the range. If it closes strong, then it closes strong, then it might not work. If it doesn't make a new high, and this is the high, then I'm going to expect the price to come back into somewhere here for the liquidity, this easy pool here. But I don't know, and I don't care. I really don't care. There's something else I wanted to say here. We were in there. Again, no bodies here. So I would have liked to have seen, I would have been more confident in the day staying a bullish day, because it doesn't have a body here and we want to get a body here. And that's all I can really say. And then you also have Nvidia was a very small day, but they had a gap. They had already hit the gap up here, right? And then coming back down into, whatever, it's just sitting inside there. So super neutral there. And I don't know what else there is to say. I have talked way too much, but I knew I'm missing something. But again, another reason why the sell besides that gap was, I understand I'm in that 2 to 2.5. So we could retrace back into where? This 1 and 1.5. Oh, you don't say. Yep. So it didn't matter. But yes, I would have liked to have bought this. This is what I should normally do with a dump and pump. But I was very content, and I don't need it to trade anymore. My day ended quick, and I love those days, and that's just what it is. You guys take care. God bless.